Welcome and thank you for joining us this morning, or again, I should say this afternoon. Today, we're doing this in honor of Human Rights Day, which is in fact 2 days from today. And Human Rights Day marks the signing of the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a benchmark for us all to measure how we as societies and we as countries honor and protect the rights of all of our citizens. We do want our governments to reflect the will of the people, but we also want to protect the fact that we're all different and we have a right to be different. And that's what Human Rights Day is for me, is protecting the right of us all to be who we are and to be different. That government's role is to protect the rights of the minorities, not just to implement the will of the majority. And that every human life has value and should be protected, and their rights should be protected accordingly. And that's why we're gathered here today to hear from 5 true experts on Bulgaria and the rights and protections of minorities within Bulgaria. So today's discussion is about our opportunity to hear from you.
However, if people do not get quality information, and not only news, but quality analysis and quality commentary from our own media, of course, they will be more susceptible to believing whatever circulated out there. All the mixed grill, all the mishmash of those conspiracy theories. Even when the media, at the level of a news story, break a good story, it appears and then it vanishes from view. There is no good follow-through. More importantly, there is no commentary. The commentary, you rarely come across a good documentary produced locally. Usually the commentary in Bulgaria would consist of invited guests in a studio environment. They would comment, they would say things, they would contradict each other, and that's it. It's just the many, many, many voices. Is that good or not? Well,
we all have the right to be different, but sometimes when people are too different, we don't like them. I see the lack of course, firstly, political representation of the Romani community, and something that I'm trying to do is to work with the Romani youths in our community, because they have capacity, but they don't have the confidence that their place is in the society, and that there is a place for us. I think the media shows the good things only when the people with different heritage are somehow defined as successful people. But all the other people that I represent, because like the Romani community is part of me and I'm the Romani community, my work was to help them and to try to explain that there is nothing wrong of being Roma or having a different identity.
Now, how do we tackle this problem of homophobia in the country? Since there's absolutely no political will to address this issue, and further, no critical mass of support in the country, we took a different approach than traditional activism. It's an approach that empowers our community and does not encapsulate it. And while opening a dialogue between various stakeholders, so our approach is social entrepreneurship. And we do hope that we will break the boundaries of the quote-unquote marginalized community through dialogue. And through this very bottom-up approach, we hope to help achieve acceptance through active participation.
I'm really happy that I see partners from other communities and people that we share the same values, that we should never stand still when we see what is happening around us in the media or in other areas of our civil life in Bulgaria, and we should, of course, join our efforts and fight every single day for the well-being of Bulgaria and our society. because we believe that as Bulgarian citizens, we are responsible not only for our own members, the members of the Jewish community, but for the well-being of the Bulgarian society. And I must say that over the past 2 years or so, the Bulgarian society has been really struck by this disease of nationalism and populism. The situation is really getting from bad to worse, and it's, I'm afraid, at this point, even out of control. The situation can only improve if we, as Bulgarian citizens, acknowledge that we bear a responsibility for the future of our country. And as you said in the beginning, the only way to do it is to acknowledge our own faults, our own mistakes.
But the very and the most visible problem is violence against women, for sure. And gender stereotypes are at the core of the problem with violence against women. The biggest problem is that the Bulgarian state, unfortunately, still does not gather official statistics about this problem. And 1 in 3 women in Bulgaria is a victim of some kind of gender-based violence. Unfortunately, during the COVID crisis and the first lockdown, cases of domestic violence increased significantly. Again, there is no official statistic, but talking with our colleagues who operate shelters, we would say that probably the increase was around 30%.